A developer wants to track the performance of an application that runs on a fleet of EC2 instances. The developer wants to view and track statistics, such as the average request latency and the maximum request latency across the fleet. The developer wants to receive immediate notification if the average response time exceeds a threshold. Which solution should meet these requirements? Configure a cron job on each EC2 instance to measure the response time and update a log file stored in an S3 bucket every minute. Use an S3 event notification to invoke a Lambda function that reads the log file and writes new entries to an Amazon Open Search Service cluster. Visualize the results in Open Search dashboards. Configure Open Search Service to send an alert probably to an SNS topic when the response exceeds the threshold. Let's do this actually for a second. Yeah, send an alert, right. Configure the application to write the response times. Next one. Configure the application to write the response times to the systems log. Install and configure the Amazon Inspector agent on the EC2 instances to continually read the logs and send the response times to Event Bridge. View the metrics graph in the Event Bridge console. Configure an Event Bridge custom rule to send an SNS notification when the average of the response time metric exceeds the threshold. Okay, we gotta go to the next one. Oh my goodness, what am I doing in my life here? Configure the application to write the response times to a log file. Well, let's go, we can do the slideshow again. Okay. Configure the application to write the response time to a log file. Install and configure CloudWatch agent on the EC2 instances to stream the application log to CloudWatch logs. Create a metric filter of the response time from the log. View the metric graphs in the CloudWatch console. Create a CloudWatch alarm to send an SNS notification when the average of the response time metric exceeds the threshold. Last possibility. Install and configure AWS System Manager agent on the EC2 instances to monitor the response time and send the response time to CloudWatch as a custom metric. View the metrics graphs in Amazon QuickSight. Create a CloudWatch alarm to send an SNS notification when the average of the response time metric exceeds the threshold. I'm supposed to do this in 2 minutes. Jesus. Configure the app to write the response times to a log file. Install and configure CloudWatch agent on the EC2 instances to stream the application log to CloudWatch logs. Create a metric filter of the response time from the log. View the metric graphs in the CloudWatch console. Create a CloudWatch alarm to send an SNS notification when the average of the response time metric exceeds the threshold. Okay. A developer is testing an application locally and has deployed the application to a Lambda function. To avoid exceeding the deployment package size quota, the developer did not include the dependencies in the deployment file. When the developer tests the app remotely, the Lambda function does not run because of missing dependencies. Which solution? Use a Lambda console editor to update and include the missing dependencies. Create an additional zip file that contains the missing dependencies. Include the zip file in the original Lambda deployment package. Add references to the missing dependencies in the Lambda functions environment variables. Create a layer that contains the missing dependencies. Attach the layer to the Lambda function. Create a layer that contains the missing dependencies. Attach the layer to the Lambda. You can configure, fill in additional encont in the forms of layers. It's a zip file. Okay, one more. Which one do you think can be used to bootstrap both the Chef server and the Chef client software on your EC2 instances? CloudFormation, Elastic Beanstalk, Amazon Glacier, none of these. CloudFormation.